Well, clearly the highlight of the day was Matthew Beck coming off the bench. Gavin Dugas was having a rough day. We needed a spark, and he did his best Todd Peterson imitation today. I told him I was a little disappointed. Peterson has a little more power, but I was very impressed with Beck's approach with two strikes hitting to the opposite field. That was 103 miles an hour off the bat to the opposite field. We don't have many hitters on our team that hit the ball that hard to the opposite field. I might have to rethink this, and maybe Trey Morgan might be starting to worry about that first base job, but I don't know. Anyway, it was a good moment for our team. Matthew is, so popular among his teammates, and everybody's been brokenhearted for him that his season had been cut short with the injury way back in February, and it just seemed like the right moment to let him have a little bit of fun. And he went up there to hit. I asked him if he hit in high school. I'm a little dubious when I asked that question now. Peterson lied to me way back in whatever year that was, but Beck started quoting his stats to me and everything, told me he hit 430 in high school. I believe him. He was a great athlete, great quarterback and everything, but kid threw him a great changeup, put him in 2-strike count, and then he tried to sneak a fastball by him, but yeah, Beck wasn't biting. He just slapped that baby to right field. And, he looked good. It was a lot of fun today, and glad we got that one out of the way.
Paul, when did you actually decide to give him the at-bat?
It just kind of worked its way out. We were able to get everybody into the game, and I knew when we made out in the to finish the bottom of the let me think clearly here. When we finished batting in the bottom of the 7th inning and went out to the field for the 8th inning, I turned to Matthew Beck. I knew that Jake Wyeth had made the last out in the bottom of the 7th inning, so Gavin Dugas was going to be due up third, and I'd basically subbed just about the entire lineup out. And the last thing in the world I wanted was for Dugas to get hit by a pitch in the 8th inning, because we're getting ready for a big series at Auburn with the game pretty much in hand. But I had no more position players, so it just seemed like a natural move there. I had told Beck a couple of weeks ago that I was going to try to get him in at bat at some point, so it just everything kind of lined up perfectly. And I turned to him and I said, "Hey, how would you feel about an at bat?" He jumped off his chair. He was doing the chart next to Coach Dunn all night, and when I said it to him, he just jumped out of the chair. He goes, "Yeah, I'm ready." So he started looking for batting gloves and a bat and a helmet that would fit. So we gave him a whole half inning to get ready, and he was pretty excited about it.
Do pitchers always carry around their lifetime hitting statistics just for this moment?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. They always think that hitting's easy. So they I think they're always ready. It's fun. It was a good moment for the team, a little bit of levity for the team, and you always worry about that you're showing disrespect to the other team. That was not the intention at all, and those guys over at Southern are friends of mine, and I'm sure that they understood the situation. Matthew's such a great kid, and he's frustrated he can't play, and he got a chance to get into a game, and the crowd gave him a nice ovation. They recognized, that he hadn't been able to play for most of the year, and that there was a moment for him to step out and be in front of the crowd. And whether he struck out or got a hit wasn't important. It was just the fact that he got to get inside of a game and hear his name on the loudspeaker, and his teammates were excited for him. And that was the exciting thing.
Coach, I'm just curious. Have y'all had conversations with him about getting him back? just where does that stand in terms of just returning to the mound? Does that y'all still think could happen this year? We're
still hoping, Glenn. I told you, I think a week or so ago that, the first procedure that he had done, we had worked hard to get him back, and he got it. Everything was moving the right direction. He got on the mound. You can ask him about it. I think he's going to address y'all. But everything was going good. He got on the mound and threw 11 pitches and felt good. And then on the 12th pitch, he started to feel it. So there's one more procedure that, we're trying that hopefully is going to work, but we don't know for sure if it will or not, But you can ask him about it. I'll let him speak for himself. Okay.
Paul, is every game important right now? More so than maybe it has been before?
Yeah, every game is important, Mike. And I talked with the team about that before the game. And, before today, we had 12 games remaining and 9 conference games, 3 non-conference games. And we're just going to take them one at a time and try to, win every game we play and let the chips fall as they may. We still have hope and we believe in ourselves, and we're going to just go out there and compete as hard as we can every game. And, let's see what happens over the next 3 weeks. We're just going to, play as hard as we can and believe in ourselves and leave it all out there on the field. And hopefully after these next 3 weeks, we'll have enough success to go to Hoover and hopefully be in the NCAA tournament. And once you get in the NCAA tournament, anything can happen. Vanderbilt once won the national championship, finishing 6th during the regular season. So anything can happen. You never know.
And you have a lot of numbers on your side. I mean, like you said, you got the 9 conference games, but a lot of things are lining up. Let's just say it that way.
Our MO has always been to finish strong, and we've tried to stay positive with the kids. And we've had a lot of young players, and they've continued to improve. And we got 11 tough games, 2 non-conference games and 9 conference games, and we're just going to take them one at a time and just go out there and battle as hard as we can, and hopefully we can have a lot of success over these next 3 weeks, and let's see what happens when the dust settles. Okay, I think you got Trey waiting here to talk to you.
Y'all can start with questions for Trey.
I'm going to ask about game season stuff. If y'all want to ask about Matt first, go for it.
Well, I've got a question to start us off. Just game itself. Trey, there in the 5th inning, I think you hit a leadoff single. The game was still 4-2. Going into that bat, did you feel like it was important to try to get y'all off to a good start there in that inning and really start to help break things open?
I mean, every time I come up, I try to do my job. So I knew I was good. So I tried to spark something for it.
We can't hear you, Trey.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So I was saying, leading off that inning or wherever I'm hitting every inning, I just try to do my job. So that inning, I just tried to step up there and spark something.
How important was it to get a couple of back-to-back wins after, I mean, you didn't get swept, but the way the weekend series win against Arkansas, then now you're getting ready to go to Auburn. How important was it to get a couple of back-to-back wins under your belt?
I mean, every time we go out there, we try to forget about the last game and win the next one. And this time we did just that and won our next game. And we're going to try to do that for these upcoming games.
You're not really scoreboard watching, but you know what the rest of your schedule looks like. Do you guys talk about, all right, this is a time to make our move, and we've kind of survived to this point, and now we've got something, in front of us that we can really take aim at?
I mean, we know what we have to do to close out this season. So we're just going to go out there and, like I said, try to win every game we play, but win the next one.
Trey, what was it like for y'all as Beck's teammates there when that moment happened in the 8th?
Oh, dude, that was great. I mean, him in the dugout every game cheering us on, us getting a chance to cheer him on again this season, watching him go up there. And, I mean, I really wanted a home run. When he barreled up that ball down the line, I watched it go. I was like, oh, maybe he has a little juice. But then he hit that backside single that came off pretty hard. I was impressed. That was a good moment.
Does every pitcher talk a lot of crap about how they can hit?
Oh, dude, we talk to them, telling them how easy pitching is, and they always tell us how easy hitting is. So now they can brag a little bit more, I guess, now that he went up there and got a hit.
What has his role been like ever since the elbow injury popped up?
I mean, he's really been a coach now. He's really keeping us up in the dugout, telling us, even though he's not a hitter, he tells us from the pitching side what he can to help us in the box and help us stay up in the dugout, especially when we're dropping down, dropping a couple innings, how we have to win the next inning. He always says that, win every inning.
Has he kind of been a glue guy for y'all? Kind of bridging the gap from the old to the new?
Oh, definitely. I mean, he really sparks us. He brings us together every game. He talks to us every home game in that little huddle to get us hyped. That's really a big moment in every game that we look forward to. And he always gets us ready to play.
Any more questions? Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, y'all can start with questions for Matt.
Hey, Matthew. So it sounds like this pinch hit, has been in the works for a couple weeks now. I mean, just I guess talk about that moment, for you to get some action out there on the field and come through for your team there with, a pretty fun moment for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. A few weeks ago, I guess when the team was going to Ole Miss, it was right after I threw my bullpen and it, didn't really go well. And so Coach Mainieri pulled me in his office and he was saying, like, when was the last time you hit? I was like, senior year of high school. So about 5 years ago now. And he just said, well, we're going to get you in a game, before the season ends. You're not, whenever you got out during the ULL game, that wasn't the last time you're going to play in a Tiger uniform. So it's been in the works and it came to fruition today and it was just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Trey was just telling us how, even though you haven't been able to play this year, you've been that coach kind of on the dugout, trying to keep the team up, even when it's not been always, easy, smooth sailing for you guys. I mean, just talk about how your role, I guess, has adjusted this season and, from going to be, pretty consistent reliever to, obviously having to sit on the bench here for a while.
Yeah, obviously it's been new territory and it hadn't been real fun, but, it's the same message as being the same guy every single day, just showing up to the yard, with a great attitude and bringing the most effort I can, and leading these guys where I can and just being there for them with anything that they could possibly ask me and, what I could do for them and, any little thing that I see for them. And, it's been different, but it's been those same guys have been there for me at the same time. You saw them hooping and hollering. Those guys have been in my corner throughout this entire process. So, I mean, they mean the absolute world to me and, they're awesome.
How much do pitchers think about that moment and like getting that chance?
That's the dream. That is the absolute dream right there. I mean, I remember back in 2018, I think that the entire world does, when Todd came up and he was, I hit bombs, coach. I mean, and he hadn't hit in however long. So, I mean, that's the dream for every pitcher. And just to be able to, go back in the locker room and just kind of mess with the hitters and just tell them how easy hitting is and all that. So, no, but it was awesome. And I'm so glad that I got to do it.
Did you also actually hit 430 in high school or did you also fib to Coach Mainieri a little bit?
I did. I did 1 year. So I think that was my senior year. So it was, I wasn't a stranger to hitting, but it had been 5 years now. So it had been a while.
Coach even called you an athlete. Is that an exaggeration or were you athletic?
All of us pitchers like to call ourselves athletes. So that's just kind of the title that we go by.
Did you play quarterback? He said you played quarterback.
I did, sir.
Okay. How many years?
All four. A guy you might know pretty well, DJ Shark, he was my receiver for 2 of them. So he made it a lot easier on me, as you can imagine.
What do you, obviously this hadn't been the year you wanted, but what are you most proud, I guess, of your commitment to your teammates and the team about?
Yeah, absolutely. As a kid, you come to LSU, you grow up in Louisiana, you obviously want to play professional baseball, but you want to play at LSU first. And so, my roots here are so deep and it's a place that I've always just, had so much pride in. And then when I got here and I understood, the tradition that this place has and the expectation and, competing at a championship level and giving championship effort, day in and day out. I mean, I think that was one of the things that I've been able to, say that I've done. I told Coach Mainieri a few weeks ago whenever they were going to Ole Miss, I said, I have absolutely no regrets. I've gotten hurt, but, I've done everything in my power to possibly, contribute to this team and do whatever I can, whatever's asked of me, whenever it is asked of me. So.
Matthew, you still have traveled at times this season. Have you been on every road trip or just a couple? Which ones?
Ole Miss was the only one that I did not go to. So I went to Tennessee and Kentucky. So.
Hey, Matthew. Yeah, I'm just also curious. We talked with Paul, and he said, the goal is to still try to see if you can get out there and return to the mound some this season. I mean, just can you talk about just kind of where your arm is, how it feels, and just when that might be a realistic goal, if at all, this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been a great day all around. I got a base hit, and I got to throw again today back to about 90 feet. So we're making strides. Corey Couture has been just nothing short of unbelievable throughout this whole process, and working with me and adjusting the plan wherever it's needed. But realistically, we're shooting for the end of the year to be back and contributing to this team. So that's kind of the timeline we're at now, and we'll adjust accordingly.
If this was the last time that you're actually on the field, if the pitching doesn't work out and this was your last moment to really contribute, what's going to be, I don't know, what does it feel like? And do you feel, just what is the kind of feeling like if that's the case?
I can't help but be happy. I said it earlier, but I told Coach Mainieri a few weeks ago, I have absolutely no regrets. I've given everything that I've possibly could give to this program in terms of, my effort and the attitude that I try to bring every single day, and the leadership that I try to provide to the young guys. It's almost a fulfilling feeling, just kind of seeing this, dream of mine come to fruition. And it's been absolutely unbelievable.
What does this team need to do in the next 3 weeks?
Win. I think that starts Thursday against Auburn. We're the message is just taking one game at a time, because it's not about, at this point in the year, compared to years past where you're counting on somebody losing at the top or vice versa or whatever. It's about LSU, and it's about winning on Thursday night against Auburn. So that's where our focus is, and that's where all of our efforts go into.
Any more questions for Matt? Thank y'all.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all can start with questions for Dylan.
You hearing footsteps now that Big Mac stepped to the plate?
Yeah. I was getting a little scared of my job once he went up there and knocked a base hit over there. That was pretty sweet.
What
Yeah.
has his role how has it changed since he got hurt? Like, what sort of role has he adopted in the months since that happened?
Really just being the best leader that we have on this team, really. He's number 8 for a reason, and he's not going to take that for granted any day. So, he comes out, he has the best attitude on the team, and, I'm just very thankful to have him as a leader, somebody to look up to.
Yeah, I got to imagine being a freshman on this year's team is a little different because there's so many of you. Is it critical to have a guy like Matt there to kind of show you the ropes and maybe, listen to you or answer any questions that you have?
Yeah, 100%. Any questions I have, I go to Beck. He's number 8 for a reason, like I said. And, he just comes to the field every single day with the best attitude and effort that I've ever seen on a baseball field. So, I'm just very thankful to, call him my number 8 and call him my leader,
Is that a deal where you respect the dude more because it's not working out for him the way he wants, but he's still there?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you guys know he's not we haven't seen him in a while on the field. So, for him to be as vocal as he is and getting us up each and every inning, every pitch of the game, it's something special. And it's only going to carry us further into the season.
Any chance you guys will believe the pitchers when they say it's easier to hit than pitch now?
It's pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie, but no, that was pretty sweet. That was a special moment what Matt did up there.
Dylan, going back to
regular
the
season is winding down, and of course, you guys are still on the fringe to make the tournament. But what is the mindset and the feel of the locker room as you're still fighting for your spot in Hoover?
Really just take each and every day. Like Matt said, we obviously we have to win. Just win really. You guys know where we stand and what we have to do to make the tournament or whatever we got to do to keep playing baseball. So yeah, like Matt said, we just got to keep winning. Keep bringing the energy and the effort each and every game, and not take every day for granted.
delving into this game specifically just a little bit, before you hit that double off the wall, it was still pretty close. Did that sort of, fifth inning there feel like a turning point as y'all distance yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It was a 2-strike, little poke over to the right center gap. So, I guess you can say it was a kind of a turning point in the game. But I know I got 8 other guys behind me that can do the same thing. So, just yeah, it was a good turning point into the innings in the future.
It was a good discussion on the radio whether you lost it in the transition or in the catch. What do you think it was?
Just took my eye off it, really. I know the guy was tagging. I kind of peeked at him a little too early and took my eye off it, but luckily I got him at second. So
Dylan, I mean, I don't know how much aware of this you would be just being a freshman, but there was a discussion for many years about how LSU would tend to lose its midweek games and then win series. And this year it's kind of the opposite. Y'all have not lost a midweek game yet. Why do you think y'all have had so much success in these midweek games?
So you may hear from some guys the midweek games are the hardest for sure. Coming from a tough SEC weekend and coming into the midweeks and facing guys that don't have as much velo and some teams tend to take them for granted. So, that's what we've learned throughout the years. Just take every game like it's our last, really, and just catch a win. That's it at the end of the day. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is that we just don't take it every day for granted. We go out and just perform, do what we do best.
Is that all? Thank y'all.
Thank you.